What is going on, everybody? It's Tuesday, it's 9 o'clock, and it is time for Zero Hour, where I, your host, Extra Zero, run through all of the Transformers news that I find interesting within the week. And yeah, I've been away, unfortunately. I've had some stuff going on. As you know, I had Lance in town. We did the Beast Wars in-person tier list, which was a lot of fun. I had a good time with Lance. I still have the footage from where we were hanging out. I got to edit that and put it together. Shortly after he left, I got hit by my allergies like a freight train, and I was just out of it. And then I had some work stuff in the Baltimore area that I had to do. And yeah, I was feeling down and out, but I'm back. And yeah, I've got a bunch of editing stuff to do. I've got that raw footage. I've got an unboxing I just did. I will upload the unboxing tomorrow as a short. But yeah, it's been a busy time, and I'll share why things are about to get really busy after we get through a couple of things here. So first and foremost, if you're watching me here live on YouTube, I want to thank you very much. We've got a live chat over there, and if you want to be a part of the show, don't be a stranger. Pop in and say hi. I love interacting with you fine people throughout the course of each and every episode. And if you're watching me on the replay, post a comment as well. I do go back and get those notifications. And, if there's anything that you thought about an episode or any thoughts or feelings you have on what's going on in the wide world of Transformers, I love to hear it. I do respond to those comments. And if you are watching me, make sure you hit that like button because it does help me out in the algorithm. And, I am trying to build up the channel. But I do need that little boost. So yeah, and I do need extra content, but yeah. And then if you're not already subscribed, hopefully today's the day I earn your subscription. If you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button. Lance and I are planning on doing more tier lists, and I am working on editing a few things. I know I sound like a broken record, but I've been busy with stuff. So I guess I will tell you why. One of the things that I've got. So come February, I'm going to be a very busy man. I posted this on my Twitter account. Was it last week? It was 10 days ago. But yeah, I'm going to be a dad. So this is my daughter Zoe, and she's going to be born February 13th. So she'll be born the day after my birthday. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time around here. I've kind of kept it quiet. My wife and I did IVF, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's a lot of when you're dealing with something where you get to a point where you have to do a procedure to have a kid. You want to make sure before you tell everybody. Before you let everybody in on the news that it worked. We tried for a couple years to conceive, and then we had to resort to IVF. And, this was kind of like a miracle baby in a lot of ways because, we only got one egg out of it. And, we only got 3 eggs out of everything my wife had to go through. She had to do all these hormone shots and, there's a lot of doctor's visits, a lot of specialist visits, and we only got 3 eggs and only 1 egg fertilized. And then it was, okay, well, is that egg going to mature? Then is that egg going to take? And, one of the things that nobody really prepares you for or tells you about is how common miscarriages are. We did not miscarry. We thankfully didn't have that happen. But it's just like one of those things where you just... you take it day by day, and we waited until we got out of the first trimester to really start telling people. And so far, everything's good. Baby's really healthy. And I know Princeton noticed it. And I'll say hi to Chad in a second. But yeah, she is sticking her tongue out in the sonogram here. You can see. So she takes after me. So I guess she couldn't take anything serious. And the others, she's like raised her arms up and moved them around. She's kicking and everything. So. Everything's looking pretty good, and I'm excited to meet her come February. I'll be probably spending my birthday in a hospital, but again, it would be a very memorable birthday. So, yeah, that's one of the big things I've had going on, and one of the I guess not really one. Well, I guess one of the reasons why I've been sporadic here and there, but I'm very much looking forward to meeting her, and I still will be doing the show. Again, that Tuesday 9:00. I work remote, so this is not going to be going away just because she's here. I may be buying a whole heck of a lot less. I definitely will be buying a whole heck of a lot less because she's going to come first. But I still want to talk about everything that's going on. I still will get pickups here and there. I think I'm really just probably going to definitely cut back on the Hasbro stuff and really just kind of focus on official MPs and the masterpieces here and there. But yeah, it's exciting times going on here in the Extra Zero household. So let's kick things off with a figure of the week, and then we'll say hi to chat, and we'll start talking some convention stuff. So first up, my favorite segment, this week's figure of the week. And this week's figure of the week is one that I had been hyping up for some time. So yeah, I've talked about this. I'm a big fan of Unique Toys. And this was one that I was pretty intrigued. They kind of had a pretty quick pipeline on this one. And this is their Red Red Destroyer. So, of course, this is Unique Toys' take on a masterpiece scale, at least a movie masterpiece scaled Stinger from Age of Extinction. I'm not, again, I say it all the time, like, I'm not a big fan of the Bayverse, but I do appreciate the bots. And I do appreciate when they actually can work in the engineering. I have this blade on. This is like from their Dino. It is like a 1-to-1. It's the same blade that comes with Dino, except it's done in a paint color scheme that doesn't match either of them. I don't know why it's in there other than, hey, it's an extra weapon. But he kind of comes as a pre-tool. You get a masked head for their Bumblebee in here, which is interesting. You get these arm blades, which I really think are for Bumblebee, though I have one on him because I think it looks cool. Of course, he's got the wheel shurikens on the back, but his main weapon really is his arm blaster here. I'm not going to transform this one on camera. It's not the worst transformation. The engineering in it's kind of insane. Everything that it does to get into its car mode, and when it does, it actually it's actually a really, really good car mode. It's not the best transformation, but they made it work, and it's not that painful. And once you do it once, it kind of makes sense. Material wise, he feels pretty good. He doesn't feel as good as other Unique Toys offerings, but he also doesn't feel bad either. I've also seen people complaining that the back isn't painted, and I'm like, yeah, they didn't pick out like all the intricate details in silver, but I think it looks fine in black, and because it's glossy, it doesn't get washed out. But yeah, this is a really interesting one. I got this directly from Magic Square, and I've really been enjoying it. Again, it's not my favorite Unique Toys figure, but it's definitely one that might make it in my top 10 third party of 2025. Not quite decided yet, but really cool stuff. And I'm kind of curious what they're going to change around to turn this into a Camaro, because really this is one of those figures that like flips inside out to become its alt mode. And yeah, I think that they'll be able to keep it, but I'm just curious how they're going to rework certain things for like the hood of the car and the shoulders and all that. Rubber tires on this guy. But yeah, this is Unique Toys Red Destroyer, and he is my figure of the week. So let's say hi to chat, and then we'll get into some convention news. First up, we got Princeton Phalanx coming in saying hello. Always good to see you, Princeton. And we've got Mario Roca coming in saying, Extra Zero, man, you haven't posted anything for the last 2 weeks. It's been, I think, what has it been? I think 2 weeks maybe, because we did do a video together when Lance was here, and I meant to upload the footage. After Lance left, I got like sick. I don't know what it was. But if you are interested in it, we did have the tier listing. So yeah, that was 2 weeks ago, which was kind of cool, just having Lance in the nerd room. And that was, when did we do that video? That was August 29th. Yeah, wow. So I haven't posted anything in September though. But I did have a good time with Lance while he was here, and it was cool having him in the house. And I now have a PC set up in the basement, which is pretty cool. So I just need to get a new webcam for it, and I need to get I need to get a wireless keyboard and mouse. Maybe I'll start doing some stuff from the basement because it might be a little bit easier, especially too when the baby comes. I might not have, if I have to keep it down in the office, it might be pretty easy. Just go and do some live streams in the basement. But yeah, if you haven't seen that tier listing, go check it out. We had a lot of fun. We're going to be doing another one relatively soon. I think we are also planning on doing a roundtable debate about scale and does scale matter in collecting, because he doesn't agree, but I think scale matters to a degree. We got my dude Sandro Franco coming in saying, howdy, sir. Would you be interested in joining the Super Coat Brothers and hyping the greatest Call of Duty Black Ops 7 ever made? That's all a John Graham and Mazza venture. If you're not watching Gronky on Dogs, I did come back last week and I was on the Gronky on Dogs podcast. We have like some inside jokes there about the Super Coat Brothers. So if you're interested in any gaming coverage or commentary, check out the Gronky on Dogs podcast. It is in my link tree. We have a lot of fun over there. There's a lot of inside jokes. It's zany. It's off the wall. But everybody on there is really passionate about games. And I think what the coolest thing is everybody has their own unique opinions on what's going on in the industry. We got Aquateki coming in saying salute to Zero in the chat. Salute to you, good sir. I hope you're having a great night. And Princeton saying, just like your dad, sticking her tongue out to the world. Yes. And Sandra is saying baby proofing the house, the pool, and most importantly the model. Yes, we do have a long road ahead of us. We're fortunately the basement locks, and we're gonna put a high lock, and we'll figure it out. This is not our forever home either, so we are planning on moving to the Carolinas sometime in the next. Realistically, now it's probably gonna be like 8 years, just the way things have gone in the economy and all. But yeah, this is not our forever home, but in the interim, we're going to try and figure out a solution for keeping her out of the basement. And my wife's like, you should consider putting plexiglass on your shelves. Some of my shelves, like they're so full, I've got stuff just going over. So I'd have to figure it out. May just be time to like save up for some new glass cases and something that'll lock. So we'll get it figured out in due time. And Mario is saying that it was a very unexpected reveal for the Studio Series side of things. Part of the news. Yes, it was. And Sandra's saying, congratulations on abandoning the UNC status and officially joining the dad class. Now Lethal will have to carry on release. Hey, Mazza has now adopted the UNC status, and he just turned 24. So I'm like, what's going on with that? When is UNC status? Is it a state of mind or is it an actual age? That I want to know. We've got my dude Stunning and Brave Megatron saying, oi, good to see you, man. I've missed your streams. I've been trying to catch the replays. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And yes, we will be talking about the Hasbro moving and the price hikes. So there's some nuance on that Hasbro moving. It's interesting. We'll get to that. We got my dude Angry Canadian saying, oops, I'm late. We did a stream on Friday. Unfortunately, I had to leave. We actually did have a little bit of a medical emergency. Everything's good, but we did have to go to the hospital. That's this kind of stuff when you're gearing up for dad mode and something doesn't seem right. You got to hop and take care of it. But yeah, got our first little medical scare, but I did have a good time on his channel talking about DK Bonanza. And Princeton, I want to move away from winters, man. That's my whole reason. We want to be near the beach, and we want to have much more mild winters, because if there's one thing I don't like, it's shoveling snow and driving in snow. And we got Professor Soundwaves coming in saying, hey, Machado's from Canada. What's up, extra? Yeah, we are just getting started here. We're about to hop into the news, so joining in at a great time. And we'll get one more here with Stunning and Brave, where he says he had his nieces over a week ago, showed them the Transformers collection for the first time. Needless to say, I'm considering adding glass to the shelves. Yeah, I had one family event a couple years ago, and my cousin let her son in, and my third-party Star Saber, well, his sword got snapped. Now I got it fixed, the Iron Trans Star Saber. Yeah, but that was my wake up call that, yeah, kids, they're fast and they are strong when it matters. So let's get into our entertainment and convention news first. First up, I haven't watched this one yet, but we got a new episode of Cyberworld titled Megatron Defeats Optimus Prime. So I guess we kind of get an idea of what happens in this one. I've been kind of I've been enjoying this series lately. They're fun, bite-sized episodes. I just hadn't had a minute to watch this one yet. Of course, we get Chop Shop. I think Chop Shop was in the last one. But yeah, that one is out if you haven't checked it out already. Then we got TFCon Chicago right around the corner, and we got some guest announcements. Obviously we know Charlie Adler is going to be there. It's probably the one I'd want to meet most of all. But Anne Bryant, who is the composer of the G1 theme, she's going to be there. And I would love to get an autograph from her. Don't know what her prices are yet, but she's also going to be taking part in a Q&A panel for any of the guests. So that's pretty cool. Then we also have one of the IDW and comic artists, Livio Ramondelli, I hope I'm saying that right, will be attending, and they worked on More Than Meets the Eye, the Robots in the Skies, and the Transformers Galaxy series. Then we got a dude that I can't recommend enough, Mark Watts. So Mark, if you didn't know, he did all of the box art for the G1 series. Mark's a really lovely guy. I really enjoyed talking to him at TFCon Baltimore last year. He does a full studio setup. Just a really kind guy, really, really kind guy. It does not cost anything to get your picture with him. He sells really the highest quality prints I've ever bought from any vendor was from Mark. He just loves talking and hanging with the fans and talking about art. Just a really, really awesome dude. And I think he's probably one of the most underrated people that worked on G1. And it was just really cool to interact with him, talk with him, see how he was with fans. And also it was really fun seeing him walk around the showroom and just admiring everything that was there and the art and the figures. So if you get the opportunity to meet Mark, if you're going to Chicago, don't miss the opportunity to meet him. And if he's ever at a convention, really, really awesome dude, very humble, very kind. Can't recommend him enough. And then also got a designer who worked heavily on animated, Eric. I hope I'm saying this one right too. Eric Seibenler, I think I'm saying that right. He was the former senior product designer on the Transformers brand, is also going to be at TFCon Chicago. That'll be cool because Aaron Archer is also going to be there. That's I don't know whether he's going to be doing autographs or have a table or have any merch. Typically, that's kind of what Aaron Archer does. He sets up. He has little things to sign. He has photo ops. So, definitely another cool guest on the roster. Aquateki also coming in saying that he can vouch that Mark Watts is very chill. Yeah, and that was probably like my prized possession was getting Mark's print and getting Frank Welker and Michael Bell and Charles Michael Hill and obviously Mark to all sign that. So it's really cool stuff. We got a month to go basically for TFCon Chicago, and it's gonna be interesting seeing if they bring on any more guests, if they bring on any additional panels or it just seems like this one's ramping up to be a pretty good convention, and we still haven't even seen the exclusives. I mean, we know MMC is going to be bringing their last bit of the Assaultus, their take on Mega Octane, which hopefully Patriot Prime can hook me up with. But got some cool stuff ramping up there. And then this is more in the I put this in my panel here, but the T-Spark account posted this that they are going to be doing on the 25th a T-Spark Live. So this is pretty cool. I don't know that they've done this before, but they're going to be going through all of the different facets of T-Spark with Takara Tomy doing their own product reveals. It kind of seems like in the same vein as like what Hasbro's been doing with their Pulse broadcasts. So there's details for the T-Spark Live. Takara Tomy lists it on their webpage. Obviously, I'm going to have to translate this real quick, but we're going to be getting all of these brands represented: Transformers, Zoids, Diaclone, the Realize model, Toy Rise, the Synergex line, Q Village, the Optimus Machina, Spark Fig, Legacy Soul, I think that's Klekazara, which I've never heard of. And right here, we can see they're already teasing their Evangelion Prime. So we'll be talking about that in just a moment here. But yeah, this is cool to see. This is really cool to see that, more of these. And again, Takara Tomy is kind of, a sister brand to Hasbro almost, or because they share product lines. But cool to see them picking that up, and it'll be neat to see how they unveil some of these products and really give us a good look. Because previously, it's just you get pictures from different shows and conventions, and you don't really get a good in-depth look. And I think maybe that's what they're trying to do here. It'll be interesting to see how much time Transformers gets if they focus heavily on other brands. But still, cool to know that they're doing this. It'll also be interesting to see if we get anything else from Audimus Machina other than that Lost Light Rodimus, and probably getting to see an in-hand Predaking. So really looking forward to seeing what this does, and hopefully it's not a dud. So let's catch up on chat, and we'll move into the official news stuff. And yeah, we're going to be kicking stuff off with the those price hikes and the moving situation for Hasbro. So Princeton comes back to say, well, one thing with dad mode is that you have to have dad jokes. Well, I do have the best dad joke ever, and it's, when does a bad joke become a dad joke? When the punchline becomes apparent. Yeah, I can hear you all cringing. So Megatron saying, gonna have to get my one niece an RC figure for Christmas. She keeps wanting to play with my MMC one. I think BBTS still has that Thrilling 30 RC. And I know that the Legacy ones, they had way too many of those. So there's options. There's options out there. Let's see. Mario says, man, like Hasbro make their decisions from moving to a place that they haven't, where they had a place for 63 years. That's we'll get into that. And the people of Rhode Island are not too happy about that. So yeah. And let's see. We got any more? Hey, we got Snap Rah 89 coming in saying hello. Glad to drop by and hang out today. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are having a good night. And Mario also saying, also forgot, is actually tomorrow is Transformers Day. Don't know what he typed, but thought it was next week. I did not know that it was Transformers. I wonder if we'll be getting any more info on that Nemesis Prime, the Armada one, because I haven't heard anything about PulseCon or how any of that's going to be released. And something brave saying it would be cool if they made Transformers based off of real life monster trucks like Grave. That would be an awesome crossover, and I wonder if that will be in the pike, because I could see them doing some really cool stuff with like a Bigfoot and a Gravedigger, and God, I think there's like Zombie would be another neat one. I like going. I haven't been in a long time, but I do like going to Monster Jam. I'm trying to remember some of the other ones. There's like the Bull one that was like El Toro Loco. So yeah. And Professor Soundwave saying Takara Tomy has started to do their own thing, even if they merged with Hasbro years ago, just like before, with better animation, accurate price, better animation accurate paint jobs and their own lines. Yeah, we've really started to see that with the dramatic capture series. That kind of really turned into the Henkei 2.0 line. And now we're also seeing stuff like the new Lio Convoy that's coming out. So yeah, Professor Soundwave saying that Armada Nemesis Prime is supposedly going to be up for pre-order during NYCC. Well, that would make sense, because I haven't really heard anything about PulseCon. So yeah, let's kick stuff off with we'll start about the moving of HQ first. So this is one that's kind of nuanced, and we really don't have too much to go off of with this one, other than the official press release. And it's I would urge everybody. Let me go ahead and share it out, but we'll read a little bit of their press release. Well, it's not even like TFW kicks this off with saying, after some speculation about Hasbro moving out of their longtime home of Pawtucket, Rhode Island earlier this year and actually going back years, it looks like it's happening this time. Hasbro accepted to it is expecting at least 700 full-time employees to transfer from Rhode Island to the new location in Massachusetts by the end of 2026. Read on for the full press release. And again, this came out on the 8th, and it is very, very, very PR heavy. Saying Pawtucket, Rhode Island, Business Wire, today Hasbro Inc., leading games IP and toy company, announced that it will relocate its Rhode Island operations to 400 Summer Street in Boston's Seaport District. The new location will be the primary headquarters for Hasbro's toys, board games, and licensing businesses, and the majority of corporate services. The strategic move positions the company to accelerate innovation, attract top talent, and drive long-term growth in line with Hasbro's playing to win strategy, which emphasizes the play-driven engagement and collaboration with partners. And, again, it goes on, to being very, very PR heavy, saying, quote, "We are thrilled that Hasbro has chosen Massachusetts as the home of the new headquarters, and we're ready to support hundreds of jobs it will create here." The governor put out a statement. The mayor of Boston's put out a statement. I like, and Mario kind of got it right here, right? Boston, from what he's learned, is a very expensive city to live in. And, I'm sure Pawtucket probably had a higher cost of living, comparatively to other parts of Rhode Island. Moving to Boston seems like a bad idea from a lot of logistical standpoints, in my opinion. Post-COVID, I feel like a lot of people don't want to work in cities anymore. And I was somebody that used to work in Baltimore City every single day. And I did go back to Baltimore City last week for our, annual all hands. And I'm like, man, I am glad that I work remote. I'm glad that I only have to do this. And my company pays for travel. They pay for the expenses of me going there, and yeah, I am a fully remote employee, but I don't like having to go into a city to do my job. And this is 700 employees. And again, Hasbro is a big company, but I'm willing to bet that a lot of those employees, and unfortunately, it's going to be probably a lot of talent there, because I know that the designers that work there, they probably do pretty decent. But if you tell those people, one, you have to uproot your life, and two, you're probably going to be making less because your cost of living is going to increase. Let's just check here. I want to see the difference between Pawtucket to Boston. Like, how big of a move is that? I know, so that's a 45-minute move. So some of those people might be willing to make the drive, depending on where they lived. Probably people that worked for Hasbro in Pawtucket probably lived, in the vicinity. I know some people, have a 45-minute commute. Prior to me quitting the job that I left last year, I had about a 45-minute commute from Maryland to Delaware every day. So it is doable. But some of those people, they may be tacking on their commute. They may not want to be driving into Boston, even though it's a 45-mile commute. It says right now light traffic, but I'm looking at 9:30 at night to get there. What's the rush hour traffic going to be like? This is kind of a big ask for people, and I really hope that they don't lose out. Now, somebody in the comments on TFW linked to this local news article from WPRI, and the folks, the perspectives come from the mayor of Pawtucket. And, there's a local hobby shop called the Toy Vault, and they talk about how ingrained Hasbro is into Pawtucket, that they actually have the Hasbro Children's Hospital there. And, the Toy Vault actually worked hand in hand with Hasbro when they were trying to reestablish brands. They had samples there in their little toy museum where they were able to say, hey, we have stuff that, you need reference material. Here you go. It's Transformers and G.I. Joe, and just, how many jobs and people it brought to the town, and they're worried about their economy too. I get that this happens with corporations, and it's like one of those things that just, it's a part of what corporations do, but man, I can only imagine it being a blow to a lot of the residents, and especially the local economy there, and all the people that built businesses around there. I'm sure probably didn't really add to them, didn't really make Pawtucket a big tourist hub, but I'm willing to bet that there are a lot of people that work jobs there, had them local, and they don't make a ton of money, and they're probably going to find other jobs, and that really sucks. I believe Hasbro has been there for 63 years, and it's interesting because the mayor of Pawtucket was talking about like, hey, you guys are going to Boston, I don't think you realize what kind of cost that's going to bring on, because Boston's expensive, and really just speculating that they're eventually going to return. And I honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. I can't really go into what I do or where I work in Baltimore, but I know that they haven't been happy with the building there that they got. And, I just think this is a misguided move, and I'm hoping that it doesn't end up just passing along more costs to the customer, because I don't really see how this benefits anybody other than the fact they're probably going to get a building in Boston with their logo on it that everybody's going to see. And, in a post-COVID society where people don't really care about that sort of stuff, where they don't really care about going in a city and seeing a logo, I think that this is just kind of them. I think this is more of a vanity project, and they probably have some sort of deal with the local government there where they're going to get like some little bit of a tax hike, but they don't really realize what the real a tax break, but they don't really realize a tax incentive, I should say. They don't really realize what the long-term costs are going to be and what it's going to do to their talent and some of their workforce. So I wish all the people that are remaining the best, and I hope that this doesn't cause them too many issues. But yeah, I think that this is another bad move on Hasbro's behalf, or Hasbro's hand, under Chris Cox's leadership. So yeah, Aquatechi's right on both points here. Yeah, avoiding Baltimore City traffic is a godsend. And yeah, I as I was going in last Wednesday and Thursday, I was like, yeah, I don't miss this at all. I really don't. I don't know how my mother-in-law does it every single day. Yeah, Princeton, you are absolutely right. He's probably getting a big incentive, and he's probably getting some sort of kickback on this one. And we got Metastep in here. Good to see you, my dude. It's been a long time. Hope you are doing well. And yeah, Mario saying, yeah, considering Cox made the questionable decision of making taking Hasbro from toys to games, and was a part of Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft. If you watch Crocodile Dogs, I'm not a big fan of Microsoft's business decisions. I can tell you that much. So let's get into the uncomfortable conversation about what Hasbro is doing as well. Again, this is not confirmed anywhere, but I take this with a grain of salt, but I also see it as being a actual possibility. And again, I don't think this is a good idea on their end. We talked about prices on here before many times, and I don't want to beat a dead horse when it comes to the price discussion, but Hasbro has cut so many corners with their figures, and their figures really have not adjusted with inflation. It's nice when they, give us a bit more of what we pay for, and they give us a little bit more of, tooling and engineering and paint. But if you go back and look at stuff from, 10, 15 years ago, well, I can't say 10 years ago, because 10 years ago is when they gave us Combiner Wars. They really started making the cuts. But we started seeing stuff shrinking in Thrilling 30. And before that, when they did the Fall of Cybertron line, we really started to see the Generations figures shrinking. But you go back into those Universe and those Generations figures, anything from the original movie line or the Revenge of the Fallen lines. Yeah, we have seen a lot of cuts that do not reflect the increases in cost. Like, you would think, okay, if you're going to increase the cost, you're going to keep things. You're going to have things keep in pace with inflation. Well, they don't. But this was, there's only one person I've heard saying this. This came from a TFW 2005 board member named Noon, and apparently some other sources over the internet. But again, I have not seen anything concrete about this, saying that deluxes are going to move up $2 from, well, $3 really, from $24.99 to $27.99. Voyagers getting a steep upcharge from $34.99 to $42.99. Leaders to $59.99. Now, leaders already are $59.99 in some places, so that price hike has happened. But I really think it's a bad idea to increase the cost of Voyagers, because I think they've cut a lot of of tooling and parts from Voyagers. I mean, we've gotten some pretty good Voyagers, but I don't see the value in that, especially with the Constructicons. The Constructicons have a ratchet in there, whoop-de-doo, but they're basically deluxes with a ratchet, and they don't really come with any additional parts. So I think it's a big misstep to make Voyagers $42.99 if that's accurate. Deluxe is a $27.99. That's still way too high, way too high, and I think they're pushing it at $25. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if any retailers try and keep it low and ease people in. But, as I was saying, with my daughter coming, this is going to be like one of those things where these sort of price increases are going to be things that are going to price me out of this and just say, okay, well, I'm going to buy my MPG figures that come sporadically. I'm going to buy my, my third-party figures that, are not like hitting all the time. So I think that they really need to tread carefully, because even though they do have a lot of good products on the horizon, if this is true, they are going to price people out of the hobby. And I worry about it, because again, I love the brand. I want it to be around for a very good long time. But when you see, again, like, I think Toy Biz is a good example, right? Toy Biz and Jakks Pacific and Jazzwares there, and even McFarlane. I think McFarlane's prices have gone up, but you look at like what Toy Biz is doing for the Power Rangers line. Is it perfect? No. But the Automorph figures, they're basically the same size as the original Automorph figures with better sculpts. The gimmick is still there, and they're $10. That's nuts. And the Zords, again, while the Zords are definitely kids' toys, they got firing missiles. They're big, chunky bits. Apparently, people are saying they don't feel cheap. And they're charging $25 for those. They're big mechs that transform. They don't have the biggest parts count. But then you get into like Jazzwares, that Street Fighter line, and all the parts and toolings, that go along with that, all the paint, and they have to pay for a license on top of that. You get Jakks Pacific with their Nintendo license, and Nintendo is getting insane with their amiibo costs. I'll tell you that much. But they're giving us fully painted, sculpted, figures with all the articulation that you really need. They're not made for collectors. They're made more for kids. But I understand profit lines and profit margins, but you're not only pricing adults out of this, you're also pricing kids out too. Because if I was a parent and I'm in the toy aisle, and I'm going to be a parent, and I'm going to be in the toy aisle, and my daughter wants something that's like $30, and then there's a good quality product that's a third of the cost, where do you think I'm going to nudge her? So, yeah, I think they're playing with fire. I think they need new leadership, like stat, because I do think this is going to be really this sort of increase and this sort of thought process is going to be really detrimental to the brand, to be honest. But let's get out of the doom and gloom and get into some cool stuff. So we're like imminent. Hopefully tomorrow, Transformers Day, which that's what Mario is talking about. We are going to have an event in Battersea in the UK where they are going to be revealing the next Titan class figure. What are we going to get? We know we got Grimlock on the horizon, the Age of Extinction Grimlock. But are we going to get Stratosphere? Are we going to get another Studio Series? My money is, I personally think that they are going to probably redo Metroplex. I think it's time. Metroplex was the first Titan, and while he's good, he's definitely aged the most. And Fort Max, let's face it, has aged well. It has aged just like that because, well, he's a retool. I would really love to get a new Metroplex that's got G1 style proportions. Again, like it's a really simple transformation. Give him ankle tilt, no stickers this time around. And I'd love to see that, especially since, when you stack up all the Titans that have come since Metroplex and Fort Max, they feel really dated. And I think those two definitely need a redo, especially now that the Titans and the mainline stuff goes for more G1 accuracy, and Metroplex is this hodgepodge of Metroplexes. He's got comic inspiration, he's got G1 inspiration, he's got the video game universe inspiration going on. So I definitely think that it's likely to be Metroplex. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody have any predictions on what it's going to be? Because hopefully it's something cool, no matter what's shown. Then we got a bunch of reveals today. A lot of cool reveals today. We got Studio Series 86 liter Soundwave. This is one that we knew was coming, and I'm pretty excited about this one. So, unfortunately, these I'm going to zoom in as best I can. These pictures were provided by JT Prime, of all people. And JT Prime is a pretty good source when it comes to revealing what's on the horizon for Transformers with listings and all that. So we get a brand new mold. This is not the Legacy or the Netflix one retooled. It also looks like we're getting a new Ravage, a new Laserbeak, and Buzzsaw. And that's pretty exciting because we just got Rat-Bat with the Perceptor set, and we've had Rumble and Frenzy already released in Studio Series 86. So if you've got Rat-Bat, Rumble, and Frenzy, you don't have to worry about, well, how are they going to get Buzzsaw out there? How are they going to get Laserbeak or Ravage? You're getting the whole set. And it looks like we're getting some cool things on here again. He's going to be like that Voyager height. To me, it looks like he's going to be a little bit bigger. We got opening and closing hands on him. And we got actual covers for the wrists, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, this is looking pretty awesome. Now, one thing people have noticed, and this is not on the back of the packaging, but whoever did this production shot, well, they're missing a piece here. It looks like the screw cover fell off when they're taking the picture. So, thankfully, it doesn't appear that he's going to have that flaw. Still, it's kind of funny it made its way into official photography like that. Then we get an in-package shot of the Last Night Barricade. He's looking like he's pretty close to being released. I'm sure we'll have him in the next few months. Really looking forward to him, especially since the Barricade that we got originally was not movie accurate. Not very movie accurate. So then we get Arachnid in her packaging, and she's looking good. So definitely getting her as I'm collecting the Transformers 1 Studio Series, and she's looking to be a pretty big deluxe there. And also looks like it's going to be a cool transformation, the way that the her VTOL all comes together. I just love how they did that with all the spider legs. I was worried they were gonna cut the spider legs off of her, or they weren't going to be articulated, and they made them part of the transformation. So a lot of people were like, "Oh, she doesn't have ankle tilt." Like, well, she need it. She's literally standing on like spikes. We get Alpha Trion in his box, looking pretty good. Really looking forward to getting him. We got 2 cool Alpha Trions this year, so it's gonna be neat getting him. And really rounding out the main cast. Really, it's going to be cool to have him. Nemesis Prime, which is kind of looking disappointing. It doesn't look like he's getting much more paint. He gets the new arm gauntlets, but it looks like they're just putting in shiny gray plastic where it was dull gray plastic on the Optimus Prime release. So there you go. As a Prime collector, unfortunately I'm getting him because my regular AoE Prime is going to be riding on Grimlock. And also, he does come with the additional weapons, the shotgun and the arm spike, which is pretty cool. And then there's Soundwave's box. And you can see here, yeah, he's got the appropriate panel there. So, yeah, that product photography was just off. And also, too, it's interesting on the back of the box, these pieces here are not done in gray. They're done in blue. So, hopefully they are gray on the final product, because that just does not look right. But there he is in package. And we already looked at him. More barricades. So it's just looping through. So some new Studio Series reveals there. And that's the same link. Then from Mark Clonis, he's got a behind the scenes for Big Convoy, the upcoming leader class Big Convoy. And he was shown off at a convention not too long ago, but I think it was old colors, and this does confirm what I was expecting to happen. It looks like, yes, his helmet actually is going to be the correct blue. We get Big Convoy looking pretty good here. I guess my only gripe is if this mouthplate's unpainted white plastic, it might not look the best in person, but I still think he looks really, really good, and I have no doubt that his transformation is going to be far less frustrating than the originals. And really cool. You can do some stuff with the the tusks here, give him, turn him into modular weapons. And, the shot here just showing you he's going to be about the same height as Leo Convoy, Leo Prime. So he's the right size and height. I'm sure that Takara Tomy will do a repaint with the translucent arm and probably extra paint deco like they're doing for Leo Convoy. But yeah, definitely looking good here. Mark's also showing off the prototype here, and it's how everything comes together. So I'm really looking forward to this. I love Big Convoy. It was the first figure I ever imported, all the way back in 1998. That was my first eBay purchase ever. I bought the Korean version of him. So yeah, definitely cool stuff here. And then we looked at this, the Evangelion Transformers prototype. This looks like it's going to be a retooled. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be the Evasion mode Optimus Prime. I'm not sure, but it's definitely looking like it's going to use a movie Prime as the base. And I think that's a good idea, a good call. I think that definitely lines up a lot more with the Eva Unit 01. So I'm looking forward to seeing a finished product of this. I did a video earlier this year where my buddy Angry Canadian got me the Evangelion transforming set from McDonald's. So I think I got to get this crossover as well to go with it. So looking forward to seeing what mold they use and really just how the paint deco looks in person. And hopefully the price isn't too bad. Let's see, Metastep. I was 13 in 1998, if I remember correctly. If I'm doing the math, if my math is mathing, I was 10 in 95 and I was 13 in 98. So I remember back in those days, if you didn't have a credit card, you could buy something on eBay, but you had to go and mail them a money order. Like I had to walk to 7-Eleven, give them my cash. They gave me a money order. I had to get a stamp and an envelope and mail it out. And they had to wait to get my money order. And then I had to wait for them to ship it out. But yeah, that was a crazy time how eBay used to operate. And I imagine it would be really frustrating if it operated that way today, because it would just getting your money through snail mail. And yeah, if you have any disputes, but early e-commerce, different time. Then we get some in-hand pictures. This came from a Twitter user, Riot Control 2501, who has the Nemesis Prime in hand. Early, we get a good look here, just how it compares to the Commander class Optimus. I like how this looks, and I just wish it had a little bit more like deco in the mouth. I do love that they repainted the face. I like the fact that they changed the little emblem on there too. It's no longer raised. They made it flat. I think Mark Clonus talked about that. I like that they have like that metallic. You can see it here, that metallic blue for the combined mode hands. And I'm excited to get this guy. Here you can see it paired up with the trailer. Again, he doesn't come with his own trailer, but they left in all the compatibility. And that's how he looks combined up. Looks a little wonky combined up, but I feel like when Jetfire comes out, at least it's like something you can do with the pants mode if you want, or if you don't want to have the trailer in a base. But I like the fact they left it in there, because I don't know, when Fans Hobby retooled their Armada Prime, their Naval Commander, when they turned it into their version of Clench, and they got rid of the hands and all, I was like, that kind of stinks. And then I think they did the same with their Energon Rodimus homage. So it's cool that they left this in here, And again, like I said, when Jetfire, the Commander class Jetfire comes out, I'm sure there's people that are going to be like, hey, I'm going to use Armada Prime's pants and give Jetfire turn him into Prime's pants. And it'd be cool to have them fight together. I guess this is like kind of flex mode going on here, because this guy's like, oh look, I got to switch to. Looks like he's playing like Cyberpunk on there, and has the Nemesis Prime from or Nemesis Convoy from Wild King. Weibo user got this too, and has. See, this is not Rab, who's done a lot of photography for the fandom before. These are better pictures. some more poses here, just more professional photography. And in Not Rav's light, you can definitely see the crushed faceplate and messed up eye pops a lot more. But yeah, and then also too, how he looks with the Star Saber team, because I think that's how I'd have him posed up, because that is kind of a money shot right there. And I think he also has the team in their bot modes as well, which we've seen. But yeah, I am looking forward to getting this set. I do think it's a little overpriced, but it is a convention exclusive, so it is what it is. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm gonna definitely pick one up for myself. And then I missed it, but Missing Link Ultra Magnus. We finally get to see what he's all about, and we get some official photos here showing, yes, he does have leg articulation. Yes, Ultra Magnus's lower legs kind of fold up in there. And the thing that's the biggest surprise is we get this Diaclone bot here. I think is it Deer Tracker? Is that what his name is? Deer Stalker, which was a Battle Beast name. But yeah, this Magnus is looking pretty cool. Now, he initially went up a little bit high. He went up for like 220, and then other retailers have been lowering the price down below 200. For me, it's going to be a wait and see. I do want him. I definitely think that little Deer Stalker robot mode is pretty cool, because the original never transformed. But yeah, this is neat. I do love Ultra Magnus, but that is kind of a steep price. Here they're showing him off the individual Magnus mode. He still does do all that. Has all of the articulation Missing Link Prime has. Does all the stuff the Diaclone one did as well. So like it even includes like the Matrix Chamber and everything. There he is compared to the OG 86 Ultra Magnus. But yeah, I think this guy looks pretty damn good. To be honest, he does come with the Diaclone pilot as well, so he does come with the Matrix. Unfortunately, it looks like if you want his missiles on, I don't know if he's going to have functional missiles, because to my understanding, Sunstreaker didn't have functional missiles, but it was gutted from what I understand for the hands. I don't know. But cool that this is real. It's cool that they worked out the articulation. Yeah, it's definitely one that I'm on the fence about. And listen, this guy right now for retail, I think he's $194 even domestically. So he's steep, but all the Missing Link stuff has been. I'll catch up with chat after we get through the rest of the official stuff. We get another one from Hot Wheels. They're not wasting the opportunity to repaint their Hot Wheels Optimus Prime now. This is available as of today on the Mattel Creations website. I'm not sure if it's sold out or not, but it's a bit cheaper than the original one that they did last year at $65 instead of $80, which I'm not willing to bite on, considering this is the size of an actual Hot Wheels car. But and also too, I'd rather get the Missing Link, or heck, even the Legacy one at that price. But yeah, this is something that went up on Mattel Creations, and we can check and see if it's still up there. I think they have. Yeah, let's go to the website and see. So yeah, this sold out. You got to also remember that Hot Wheels collectors are probably as ravenous as Transformers collectors. So I am not shocked that this sold out. And yeah, there's a comparison with the one that came out. And again, this is not only the size of regular Hot Wheels, but it's also as simple as the original G1 Optimus. So, there's a white glove unboxing. The packaging looks nice. But this is one where I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not in it for that. And we'll close out the official news with an oddity. So Spirit Halloween is selling an officially licensed Transformers Optimus Prime sword. And they, for whatever reason, made G2 Optimus's sword, Laser Prime sword, into a prop. It's $16.99 on the Spirit Halloween website. I'd be interested in checking this out, in a store, just to see what the quality is. You have a little Autobot insignia on the hilt of the sword. I'm not sure the size of it. It's got one review. Let's check out that review. Let's see what people are saying about it. Fantastic sword. Our little Optimus Prime loved having this sword at his Halloween costume prop. Sturdy, blue plastic, would buy again. Made the outfit complete. So I'm curious. I'm sure this is definitely made for kids. But if you're looking to have a G2 prop of all things, now's your chance. I have heard that like Spirit's props have like really gone up in quality. But if you're looking to check it out in person, just find a business that's closed down recently, and I'm sure Spirit will be setting up shop there in no time. So let's check in with chat. You guys are popping off. Appreciate everybody who's popped in tonight. And we got my dude Winston Leggett coming in here. Winston, always good to see you, saying what's up, Zero, and everyone in the chat. And Professor Soundwave, when I saw that, I did a double take because I'm buddies with Fire Talks, the YouTuber who does awesome 3D print works. Well, I think he's kind of mostly retired from YouTube, but he does have a awesome 3D print shop on Etsy. So I do a double take there. Mario coming in saying, also, whose idea is over Nintendo to bring back the Virtual Boy, one of the dumb console add-ons in history, and one of the experience virtual reality. We're back. Well, I think the Virtual Boy thing is novel, but for $100 and to not include the controller, yeah, I think that there's companies right now, despite the tariff situation, despite the economic situations out there, they're just trying to see what they can get away with. Can't let them get away with this sort of stuff. So vote with your wallet. Vote with your wallet. You got Jack All Casuals coming in, hanging out, saying that's just part of the Cuts Extra. Yes, it is. Let's see. He's also coming in saying there's also something wrong with Optimus being more blue than red. I can see that. Let's see. Angry Kitty saying, sorry, but to drop in for this. You think this is going to be hard to get for me? I'm assuming the Evangelion Prime, I think it'll be pretty easy to get. I have a local, well, not a local, but a shop, and I went there with Lance. I have footage of it called All Time Toys, and they sell things pretty close to like what the import price should be. I saw the Rathalos Prime there when we went, and it was like $50. And I was like, it's kind of tempting, but I slept on it because they had a lot of them, kind of waiting on a sale. Jack Volcash is also saying, you're old as fuck, dude. Yes, I'm 40. And when my daughter's born, I'll be 41. And that's kind of making me feel a little odd because I keep doing the math. And like, I got to stay young. I got to stay in shape. I got to keep the young mindset. I got to be around for a good long time, stay healthy. Because I'm like, man, when she's 30, I'm going to be 71 years old. And that's surreal to me. Fortunately, don't have too many grays. I got all my hair. I'm good. So I just got to stay in a good mindset, healthy and in shape. So when she's here, I'm here for the long run. Because, she's going to need me. What's the saying? Well, I'm older than Zero. Yeah, I mean, you also had your kids younger too, so like, we're gonna be chatting. You're gonna be like, telling me like, hey, retired life's great. Kids are all grown up, and I'm like, oh, my girl just graduated high school. How about that? Yeah, Action Figure Dude coming in saying, Zero, good to see you, man. What's your thoughts on Metroid Prime 4? I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4. I know there's a lot of people picking at it because the motorcycle stuff. I understand people want to see the speed boost. I'm just hyped for it. It's coming out in December. I'm going to have time to play it. I'm going to be playing that till my daughter's here. I had more thoughts and feelings on it on the, we covered the Nintendo Direct over on the Gronk Gaming Podcast, but I'm excited. I do understand people's thoughts about the open world looking barren, but it was developed for the Switch 1 first. And I think it's just going to be a Switch 1 game that really just gets some graphical upgrades on Switch 2. But I just love Metroid Prime so much that I care more about how it plays and less about how it looks. And let's see. First, Soundwave saying, how come he's not coming with the evil Minicon sword? What was the name? This is a Dark Saber. And I'm willing to bet that they'll probably do the Dark Saber as a commercial release. I hope that they start doing Minicons in some way, shape, or form. Even if they sell like a pack of them at a leader class price, I think that would be fine. They were doing that for the Siege line, selling the Micromasters that way. So Minicons definitely need that treatment. Jack Hawkins was saying, my wallet will be crying. My wallet is always crying, but I really got to hone in now. I got to hone in now and just like everything's got to be, my purchases have to be meaningful. And that's why, till we get like in a state where we know everything's good and, we got things covered. It's really got to get dialed back to like MPG and the third party stuff that really matters. No more placeholders. I'll still be collecting the 13 primes or anything I would never get as a masterpiece, but definitely I'm going to have to really dial it back in quite a bit. And Professor Soundwave's coming in with some good advice, saying I'm in my 50s. He says, corrected. I know what you mean. Exercise, eat healthy habits, challenge the brain with reading other stuff, cut the alcohol. Yeah, when I moved over to a keto diet, I'm not gonna. We're talking toys, my friends. We're talking toys. We're a little over. We don't have too much third party stuff. But when I moved over to a ketogenic diet, I could not metabolize alcohol anymore. So as of July 31st, I'm 2 years without alcohol. I had like a couple drinks here and there, but I really quit alcohol, and I can't. I tried it October 2023 at my wife's cousin's wedding, and then the following February we went out to Fogo de Chão, which is a Brazilian steakhouse, and I got like my favorite drink there, and it's instant headache. So I just can't do alcohol anymore. So, but I mean I've never had, quitting alcohol. I've never had an easier time keeping weight off and staying with healthy habits. I feel like, when I would go out, kick a few back, or I used to love to drink beer on the podcast and loosen up and have a good time. And I'd find like after that, I'd like, man, I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to snack, need something on my stomach now. And now I don't have that at all. And it's a good feeling. And again, some people are better than others. Some people can metabolize it better than others. But for me, I'm just kind of enjoying what I got going on here with this, and it's all good. It's really all good. And like I said, I want to be around a good long time for my daughter and the adventures there, and just be around. And I think everybody should too. Haley is coming in saying I'm okay with this sidetrack. Well, thank you. We're gonna get it back into the toys. We're gonna get it back into toys. We're gonna wrap stuff up with our third party stuff because we got some cool things here. Kicking off, we got a set coming from DNA Designs for Megatronus. You get like this cool. I just wish it was the chainsaw blade. I love this like on fire chainsaw. You get a little Decepticon mask, kind of like Tarn mask for him if you want. New tip for his blade, new flame effects, a hilt for kind of a bracket for the chainsaw, and some filler pieces as well, some transparent filler pieces here. You can see how he looks at the upgrade kit. Now, I like these weapons a lot. I don't know how I feel about these flames. I think the flames just kind of make his shoulders look a little bit more puffy than they should be. They don't look bad, but I would have liked to see them like go up a little bit higher, be a little bit more narrow. Maybe have like some flames coming out the sides of his arms, but that the flames are probably like the one thing I'm like kind of meh on. You can see how like you can attach his weapons now on here, giving him like some ridiculous armament, really beefing him out. And they're showing like how those clear filler pieces go. And I really like that. I really like how those clear fillers look. This one probably will be a definite purchase for me. I just probably won't use those big flame effects, to be honest. And I agree. Jack All Casuals is right. The flames do kind of make the frame look goofy on him. And he does look taller. I just feel like it's just they're like huge. Maybe it'll look better in hand. I mean, this pose looks pretty awesome. I love how like the Tarn mask's kind of like on there's a keychain that's kind of a neat look, and he can also wear it too. So if you want to have that like Transformers 1 Megatronus look, you can do that, which I'm there for it. That's pretty cool. And you can still also use the other ones like the shoulder flame effects, just pegging into the biceps. I think that's actually kind of a good look. I still think that those are a little big, but everything can store in vehicle mode. He gets new missile pods, and honestly, that chainsaw tank, that's pretty badass. I'm on board with that. Chainsaw Tank is that's winning me over right there. So, yeah, hopefully this was one of the cheaper kits, but I'm in for this DNA kit because that weapon, that chainsaw blade, then showing him like dual wielding them. There's a purple version as well. Actually, I kind of like the Dark Energon version, to be honest. But there you go. Not to be outdone, too. This is not for their DNA is showing off their kit for the SS86 Op. So this is the fusion cannon that you're going to get. Fusion cannon you'll be getting with the Optimus kit. They're showing that it's got an extending barrel. So a lot of people are getting excited, thinking that that this was going to be a piece for 86 Megatron, and it more than likely will fit on him. But they are doing their own kit, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, they do have the extending fusion cannon for their upcoming Optimus kit. They didn't show that off in the instructions. This was always planned. This wasn't like a thing that they just put it in the 11th hour, but you can extend that fusion cannon if you want to make it a bit longer. Next up, X-Transbots over on their Weibo account is teasing that Hook is going to be their next Constructicon released under the name of Teardown. So we just get this little teaser of him there. And everybody's been telling me that the MMC Constructicons really are knocking it out of the park. I got to we had our meetup at Bar Louie last month when Lance was in town. I got to mess with a couple of them. I believe Alex brought one of his, and T-Man brought the scavenger he had, and I was really pleasantly surprised by the build quality of them. I really wish I was going with them rather than the Fans Toys ones at this point, to be honest. And then Ocular Max is also showing off their Mixmaster. So these look to be renders here, and also too they're scrapper. But getting a look, I can't tell if these are renders or prototypes. Maybe they are prototypes and not renders. But just getting a look at some of the articulation and the proportions of them. Now, these are all-in combiners. I will say the more I see of these, the less I like, and I do typically like MMC an awful lot. I like the materials they use. I like the transformations. So I'm gonna kind of wait because I do want to get new Constructicons for my bot modes. I think the Fans Toys ones are going to be my combined Devastator. I think the Toy World one has just aged out for me. So I'm just kind of like waiting to see which will be the best. But right now I'm leaning towards the X-Transbots ones, to be honest. Sonny Break saying he got Bone Crusher on Sunday. What do you think of him? Because I'm really, really curious what the overall consensus is. And I think that the X-Transbots ones really are just surprising in terms of the quality that they've got. And the MMC ones are also going to be kind of big. The Fans Toys ones definitely are too big, and that was something that surprised me, because normally Fans Toys like nails the robot mode sizes and proportions. But speaking of Fans Toys, this is from QQT Studios. They are doing a set for the Fans Toys Menasor. And this set, basically, if you have Fans Toys Menasor and you don't want to remove the bots from your combined mode, or you want to have the individual bots on display and want to utilize that skeleton, well, this gives you the option. So this is the Liberation Kit. No pricing or release info on this, but showing off that, if you want to have your Menasor combined up, but you want to leave your figures in bot mode, you can do that. So this allows for all 5 Stunticons to remain in robot mode and just utilize the combiner parts that come with the Menasor set. And you can get all kinds of configurations. You can do the cars on the front, upside correctly, upside down. You can have them on the backs of the calves. However you want to do it. You can create your toy or your tuned version of Menasor. It even has a big back filler. And the cool thing is, you can now utilize the skeleton to store some of those extra parts and pieces, which I think is really cool and thoughtful. And this is just looking to be a nice little set. I can't tell if it's a 3D printed kit or if it's going to be mass produced. It looks like it's going to be mass produced, but in some of these, it looks like I can see print lines. But really cool. Hopefully this is a affordable set. It looks like there's some engineering in here too. Like you can see these elbow pieces in there. So yeah. And Mario, we do know that we are getting that kit for 86 Megatron. We just don't know what all is going to be in it. But DNA did tease that a couple weeks back. And lastly, we get a look. This comes courtesy of TM Reviews and Dame Chalk. It looks like Star Toys Trax is getting ready to ship. So this figure is looking really, really good. I've been talking about Star Toys quite a bit recently because everybody was asking me, are you going to get the Fans Toys Blitzwing? And I was like, no, I can't. Like, I paid under $100. I paid, I think, from TF Safari with a coupon and points, I paid something like $85, $87 for the Star Toys Blitzwing. And I've been so happy with that figure. The transformation's fun. It looks the part. And it's just, that figure is just a really, really good Blitzwing. And it's like, well, why would I just get the Fans Toys one because it's Fans Toys, you know, when I have a Blitzwing that I'm really happy with. So I made the decision to skip the Fans Toys Blitzwing, and I'm kind of glad I did. And funny enough, TM Reviews just put out a comparison between the Star Toys and the Fans Toys, and the Star Toys won out, despite the fact that Blitzwing's over a year old. And you know, I know he loves his Fans Toys. It beat the Fans Toys Blitzwing by 3 points. So, and that Star Toys Blitzwing is also getting a reissue. So, you know, showing off the articulation on this Trax, you know, it's really all around looking good. And I like the fact that you know, he's got the full yellow emblem on, or yellow space for an emblem. I hope I can find just a pure red and black Toy Hacks decal to put on there. I think I have them. You know, the faces that he comes with, as well as the Hoist Goes Hollywood mask. You know, he's got his. I kind of wish they had engineered the little gun in for you know, flight mode, but it is what it is. His blaster, and I guess that's a stand adapter as well. And then there's the packaging right there. So really, really cool stuff. And that very much looks like Fans Toys art, doesn't it? I think Unicron WMD probably did that artwork. But I'm really looking forward to getting him. I haven't seen any of the sites saying that they're anticipating him in stock soon, other than he's just up for pre-order and coming soon. But I have a feeling this is going to be a really, really good figure. So I'm definitely excited about the Star Toys tracker. And also too, I want to see I hope this is a success, because I want to see Star Toys really really make more characters and more figures, and I think they do a really good job. I maybe they'll be the company to finally give us a good Sandstorm. So, you know, not holding my breath, but that Sandstorm, the only one we have is the Unique Toys one, and that thing is so dated. I'll never get rid of my Unique Toys one though, because that was how I became friends with Bolt Matrix. I bought his and we got to talking. So yeah, there's a story behind that one. And then if I ever replace my MP Sandstorm, if they ever do make one, I'm going to keep Sorter in his car mode, because he looks like the Wienermobile. So yeah, Professor Soundwave, if they would be the company to make the cone heads, because that KO company, I don't think that they really nailed it. Well, we're a bit over tonight. Well, we got a lot of people hanging out with us tonight. I really thank you all, everybody that tuned in to watch me live here. Again, I say it every time, but I mean it. I wouldn't be able to do this show without all you fine people that tune in every time I do one of these. Do need to get better about having extra content out here. And I think with things calming down and getting into the winter months, I will. I'm going to get that an unboxing video up tomorrow. It'll be in as a short. I haven't put any shorts out on here, so it'll be a quick little short for you all to enjoy. Spoiler alert, it's an unboxing of a figure that has a chase available. So I hope you all enjoy that. And that is uploaded. That's already in my, it's timed. So, but yeah, If you haven't already, if you like what I did here tonight, make sure you hit that like button because it does help me out in the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Lance will be back on the channel. We'll be doing more tier lists and discussions. He wants to do a discussion about scale and have it moderated. So we're looking for some people to bring in for a scale debate on the channel, which I think will be a lot of fun. Does scale matter in collecting? And we're going to have some other stuff down the pipe. I'm going to get T-Man on here as well, have him on either for just a regular episode of 0 Hour or just to have a fun discussion. So there is going to be more stuff coming. So just bear with me. So, as I revealed, I do have a bit of stuff going on. But appreciate each and every one of you. And if you aren't watching live, if you're watching me on the replay, leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything I talked about tonight that you're excited about. If you have any thoughts or feelings on these potential price hikes or Hasbro moving from Rhode Island to Massachusetts and into Boston, let me know. I want to hear it. I do like all the comments, at least the nice comments, and I do reply to them. So leave a comment. I look forward to hearing from you. But until next time, I will see you all on the next one. I'll definitely be back next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern for 0 Hour. I don't know if we'll be doing anything on Saturday or not, but until the next one, 0 out. And I hope you all have a great rest of your week.